Hey everybody, the Super Vader 400 here, Mr. the Fanboy, and of course Douglas Blair Roberts here. It's time for another review, and as you can see by the title above, this is my third re-review of the of the what was the date again? Hold on. Of the April 22nd, 22nd Impact Wrestling pay-per-view, Impact Wrestling Redemption. There are two reviews of this on my Mr. the Fanboy channel, which will be in the description box below for people on YouTube and people in my fan group. But this right here is a third shorter review of the awesome Impact Wrestling Redemption pay-per-view, which I saw earlier this year, and I've been watching it. I don't know how many times. This video is also another video I'm doing to coincide with my brand new match review series where I review matches instead. Since I'm reviewing the matches of this pay-per-view separately, I won't speak that much in depth of each match on this card. And as always, well, if you saw my previous reviews of this pay-per-view, you know how much I loved this pay-per-view right here. From the opening introduction. I'm glad TNA brought those back, those epic biblical story-filled pay-per-view intros that really gets you hyped to watch these shows. It makes these shows seem bigger and more epic than they really are. But this whole pay-per-view was awesome. We started the night off with lucha action between Drago and with Drago and Aerostar. Great lucha style action to start the night off. Then of course the second match of the night, the second with of course I think Aerostar defeated Drago. The second match featured Eli Drake and Scott Steiner defeating the Latin American Exchange. And then now for those are the first two matches. Now I'm gonna start my intro and finish the review on camera. I was initially gonna just do the whole thing on bed, but my camera works best during the day when it's cloudy outside like it is right now. So with that being said, I'm about to hit my intro music right now.
Wrapped up in my hands, your glass jaw don't stand a chance. You use your words like bullets, I use my fists like bullets. I'm done with cheap shots and you fakes. I'm gonna be your last mistake. Use your words like bullets, gonna use my fists like bullets. Let it all hell break. I'm taking back what's mine. You can't hold me down. I am the fire. Now's the time. This is my
Yeah, now continuing from where I left off, now let's get to my favorite part of the pay-per-view, and that was the six-way X Division match between Brian Cage, Desmond Xavier, DJZ, El Hijo del Fantasma, Taiji Ishimori, and of course Trevor Lee. Boy, what an awesome match this was. When I saw this pay-per-view for the first time, I found myself watching this match over and over and over again. Watched it so much I didn't find the time my reviews of this event came out late. But man, was this an awesome match, and I'm definitely going to be reviewing this match indefinitely on my Mr. the Fanboy channel. This review, by the way, is going up on my Super Vader 400 channel, and of course, is going up in my both of my fan pages and groups on Facebook, which I'm gonna send the links to those when I upload. I'm gonna upload the links to those pages when I upload this video to my Super Vader 400 channel and my Mr. the Fanboy channel. With that being said, let's continue. Talia Valkyrie defeated Kiera Hogan in an okay television match. Matt Seidel defeated Petey Williams. My next favorite part of the pay-per-view. Matt Seidel defeated Petey Williams in a phenomenal X Division Championship match. Two problems I have with this match. Petey Williams did not walk away with the win after all the build-up to this match, and the end was anticlimactic with Matt Seidel winning with his new roll-up slam maneuver. I keep forgetting what he calls it, but it was just anticlimactic that he just beat him clean. That first started he beat him, but he beat him clean. There was no drama in the match, but it really made Matt Seidel look strong, and it really put him over as one of the best X Division champions, and I think that was the point here. But this match right here was awesome. Next was OVE Ohio versus Everything. Jake Christ, and Sami Callihan taking on Eddie Edwards, Moose, and Tommy Dreamer. My next favorite part of the pay-per-view, the House of Hardcore six-man tag team match, and this match was awesome. Non-stop action from beginning to end. So many awesome spots, lots of violence. Love Tommy Dreamer's "I Have a Dream" speech at the beginning of this event, and love the feud between Edwards and Callahan. Then you had Ali defeating Su Young in an okay match, and then the main event featuring Pentagon versus Austin Aries and Phoenix for the three-way for the Impact World Heavyweight Championship. This event, back at the time when this event was in the making, it was supposed to be Austin Aries and Alberto El Patron in the main event, but El Patron didn't show up at Impact Wrestling versus Lucha Underground, so he ended up fired, and they replaced him with Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix Star. And let me tell you, this was one of the best things ever, because instead of just getting Austin Aries and Alberto El Patron, we got something better. We got Pentagon Jr., one of the top wrestlers in Mexico, as a top babyface in Impact Wrestling and champion. We got Phoenix Star also as a top mid-card babyface, and it has later led to something I initially didn't like, but now I do like, and that was the Austin Aries heel turn, which is so much better than Austin Aries as a baby face. But yeah, this was an awesome match. Nothing really stood out except for Phoenix Star doing some amazing things, and Pentagon Jr. doing some awesome super kicks, and Austin Aries hitting his moves. But yeah, at the time when I saw this, the ending shocked me with Pentagon Jr. upsetting Austin Aries and pinning Phoenix Star. Pinning Phoenix Star for the Impact World Heavyweight Championship, and it was awesome. Pentagon Jr. losing the championship is one of the reasons you haven't really seen many videos on Impact Wrestling. Haven't been watching a lot of Impact Wrestling because of that. So yeah, this was my short re-review of Impact Wrestling Redemption. All the matches to this event, well, some of the matches to this event, I won't be talking about the female matches, will be reviewed on my Mr. the Fanboy channel. Alright, I'm done for now. Let's finish that theme song. And by the way, I love Eddie Edwards' new theme song, which I probably should have used in the Slammiversary review coming next, but whatever. everybody? Super Vader 400 here, Douglas Blair Roberts here, and of course, Mr. the Fanboy here, back for another review. And this is part two, audio narration, continuation of my Impact Wrestling, my third Impact Wrestling Redemption pay per view review. After watching all of Impact Wrestling's biggest shows and pay-per-views of this year, if you forced me to choose, if I had to choose what was the best Impact Wrestling pay-per-view of 2018, it is this pay-per-view right here, Impact Wrestling Redemption. This pay-per-view had not only had an awesome card, an awesome series of matches, and a great promo package, and last but not least, a clean finish in the main event, which is vastly different from all of the run-ins and interferences and overbooked nonsense that you would normally see in most Impact Wrestling main events. I also like how this pay-per-view, just like Slammiversary this year, this pay per view was well received and was considered a redemption from the previous big time show, which was Bound for Glory 2017, which I liked and I enjoy even more now. But that got a lot of negative reception when that pay per view first premiered back in 2017. I think that pay per view now not on the network and on demand and on the internet is much better now than it was when it premiered. But this pay per view right here, Impact Wrestling Redemption, was considered a redemption for that pay per view. And so yeah, let me continue with the matches. In the first part, I started off with Aerostar and Drago and Eli Drake and Scott Steiner versus the Latin American Exchange for the Impact World Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. Not only were those awesome openers, let's get to the third and one of the best matches of the night, and that was Brian Cage taking on Desmond Xavier, DJZ, El Hijo del Fantasma, Taiji Ishimori, and Trevor Lee in a six-way X Division showcase match. And boy, was this a showcase. This right here was one of the greatest X Division matches I've ever seen. One of the greatest X Division matches I've ever seen. It started off good with Desmond Xavier and DJZ going at it. Then El Hijo del Fantasma, Taiji Ishimori did some good stuff. Trevor Lee was the best performer out of the match and the most enduring, taking the onslaught from various people, with Brian Cage, Desmond Xavier, DJZ, and Ishimori, in my opinion, being the MVPs of the match. They had the best moves, especially Brian Cage when he was tagged in. So much exciting action, too much to call, which is why you haven't seen me review this match yet. I've been trying to do that for months, but there was so much excitement in this match, and I'm really happy to see Desmond Xavier, DJZ, Ishimori, and El Hijo del Fantasma being used on this show, because these guys are currently not really being used. Trevor Lee still makes appearances, and Brian Cage is in the midst of a huge monster X Division push, but none of the other guys on this card are currently being used right now. So yeah. Talia Valkyrie defeated Kiera Hogan in a oh yes, Brian Cage defeated DJZ, Desmond Xavier, El Hijo del Fantasma, Ishimori, and Lee when he pinned when he pinned Xavier with a screwdriver style power driver maneuver after hitting several other awesome, bizarre, super awesome moves I've never seen before. Next is Talia Valkyrie versus Kiera Hogan. Talia Valkyrie defeated her in a pretty good but throwaway match. You can skip this match, and the pay per view would not be missing much. But happy to see Talia Valkyrie go over. Next match of the night is another awesome match. Pretty much the X Division matches, and the House of Hardcore match in the main event were pretty much the best fights of the night. Ohio. So next is Matt Seidel taking on Petey Williams for Matt Seidel's X Division Championship. And boy, was this fight awesome! Everything about this match and fight was awesome. Just like with the Brian Cage six-way elimination, six-way X Division match. This is also one of the best X Division matches. X Division matches ever, with Petey Williams, of course, being the aggressor and the much better wrestler, and Matt Seidel being the much better performer in the match, and the crowd was really heavy for Petey. This was a phenomenal match. The only problem I had with this match was the ending. Petey Matt Seidel defeated Petey Williams. Not only did he beat him clean, but it was fair and square. Josh Matthews didn't really interfere that much at all, and didn't really have that much of a impact on the finish of this match, and that right there was kind of disappointing. I really wanted Petey Williams to win, him for him and Seidel to feud with the title. But this led to some good things later, because Matt Seidel would end up feuding with Brian Cage, and we know how that ended. We know how that ended. But I would have loved to see more, and I would love to see them trade the titles back. Sucks to see Petey Williams just really showing up their job now. I missed earlier this year when he was. I missed last year and early this year when he was heavily being pushed. Next is I also love, while I hate the fact that Petey Williams lost, I do love the brand new finisher Matt Seidel used on him. The flip, the flip power driver maneuver, the flip gut wrench power driver maneuver Matt Seidel used on Petey Williams. That's a much better move for a heel than the shooting star press. Um, yeah, that was one of my all-time favorite matches. Like I said, I've been trying to review that soon, but so many awesome moves, especially from Petey Williams. The next match of the night is Ohio versus Everything. Dave Jake Christ and Sammy Callahan taking on Eddie Edwards, Moose, and Tommy Dreamer. And boy, was this an awesome fight. This was vastly similar to the WCW and ECW hardcore matches of the past, which in my opinion were such awesome fights. And were much better than WWE's hardcore division, which had some good matches, but their division was more comedy and act was more comedy than action, Whereas the WCW and ECW, they took their hardcore divisions much more seriously. You were watching an actual sport, and boy, so many awesome spots. So many awesome spots in this match, and such awesome psychology from Edwards, Dreamer, and Callahan and Moose and OVE were beasts in this match as always. So yeah, Ohio versus Everything. OVE defeated um defeated Eddie defeated Eddie Edwards and Moose and Tommy Dreamer's team. I think when he pinned Tommy Dreamer. Yeah, when he pinned Tommy Dreamer. Then after the match, Eddie Edwards brutally attacked Callahan, tied him to the ropes, and caned the living daylights out of him, and wouldn't stop when the Christ brothers tried to interfere. He hit both of them. Then when his wife came out, he accidentally hit her, thinking she was Tommy Dreamer, when Tommy Dreamer kept trying to stop him. Next match, Ali defeated Su Young in another forgettable match. The only thing I cared about in this match was Braxton Sutter. Now that Sutter, Sienna, Bennett, and Maria's gone, I've just really no interest in the Ali character, even though she's doing much better now as far as push. So yeah, that's that. The main event featured Pentagon Jr., Austin Aries, and Phoenix Star. As always, we gotta talk about the history of this. This goes back to Impact Wrestling versus Lucha Underground with Alberto Beltran. This is supposed to be a four-way between these guys, and Alberto Beltran. I mean, at the Impact Wrestling Lucha Underground show, and at this show, the main event was supposed to be Aries and Alberto El Patron for the World Heavyweight title, but El Patron no showed Impact Wrestling versus Lucha Underground and was promptly fired promptly fired by TNA management. So they salvaged what was left and had a rematch of Impact Wrestling versus Lucha Underground with Pentagon, Aries, and Phoenix, this time battling for the Impact World Heavyweight Championship. I expected Austin Aries to win here, but I am so happy Pentagon Jr. won the Impact Wrestling Heavyweight Championship, and I like how it was clean. It was clean too, and him losing the title kind of turned me off to wrestling a little bit. That's another reason you haven't been seeing much videos. This guy and Okada losing the titles kind of turned me off to wrestling. They were awesome champions. I wanted Pentagon to be the next Eddie Guerrero, Hector Garza, and Vampiro. Vampiro's the closest one that he was that he is of Impact Wrestling, and he's still that now. But he's currently not in a feud for the heavyweight championship, which I don't like. After this, after his short-lived feud with Aries, after Aries turned heel and regained the title, he was moved down the card to the mid card, which of course I didn't like. But this right here was an awesome fight with, of course, Aries and Phoenix being the best wrestlers in the match, but the best psychology and the best performer was Pentagon Jr. And the match ended in a spectacular fashion after hitting a double gory special and Pentagon driver onto Phoenix Star and Aries. He hit Aries with the armbar, with the signature sick armbar maneuver he does. Then he hit another Pentagon Jr. Pentagon driver for the 1, 2, 3. The look on Aries, the priceless look on Aries' face, really sold this match. This right here was an awesome pay-per-view. When I see pay-per-views and matches like this, it reminds me of why I still watch professional wrestling, knowing the results, or the outcome are no longer real. So, like I said, awesome stuff, man. Well, this was my review of Impact Wrestling Redemption. Slammiversary is coming up next. I'm gonna finish recording that. All right, time to hit my music.
Wrapped up in my hands, your glass jaw don't stand a chance. You use your words like bullets, I use my fists like bullets. I'm done with cheap shots and you fakes. I'm gonna be your last mistake. Use your words like bullets, gonna use my fists like bullets.